Hey, everybody. Let me get this together. All right, let's see. We got it. I think we got it. All right, let's get this together. Okay, so hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Monique J channel. I call this show the Let's Be Honest show. Of course, it's been a minute since I've done a video, but I'm trying to get more consistent. So pray for me on that, y'all. I am now, of course, kind of upgraded and got a different camera. So I'm able to, excuse me if I'm happening to end up looking like I'm looking down because I'm trying to make sure that I remember to focus and look directly into the camera. But I wanted to come on and do this video. I've actually over the years, well, first let's say this. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. I'd appreciate it. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. All you gotta do is click. And then make sure you interact with the video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can give me a thumbs down. Just do some type of interaction with the video. All right, so thank you again. This is Monique J, CEO, which stands for Choose Exceptional Options. What my credentials are: I am a degreed paralegal. I have a master's degree in accounting. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I have a certification in education as well as life coaching and a graduate certification in marketing. I have done everything that I have listed for over 15 years. What I currently do now, I function in the vein of a business coach, accounting, tax professional, an actual life and personal and financial coach. I'm not a licensed financial planner. I am a degreed accountant who, of course, has years experience in budgeting and financial literacy training. So if you just want to know everything I got, look me up, Google me. But I do hold 2 degrees and 3 certifications in the areas in which I speak. So just want you to know you're not just getting somebody who um, don't know what they talk about. Not only that, everything that I generally tend to talk about, I'm in the business of or have been in the business. And so I have actual experience, knowledge, as well as the book knowledge, as everybody says. Okay, so this video I actually wanted to do, when I first started, as a cosmetologist. Was already doing as a tax professional and doing accounting. And so it was one of my goals to come into the beauty industry and show those who had been in the beauty industry. Now, mind you, this is in the 90s, right? So a lot of times back in the day, if you remember, most people who did hair, this is how we're just going to speak candidly because you know me, let's be honest, and I'm going to just be authentic. But however, most people who did hair, as we used to say, they did it. And the key thing for them was the fact that because it was cash, because really wasn't nobody using credit cards and all that stuff like they are now. Well, of course, we didn't have apps like Cash App and Zelle and Venmo and all those things either. So nobody had that. So we all felt, and most people all felt that, okay, I collect my money in cash. So since it's cash, I don't have to tell nobody about what I make because who knows what I'm making, right? And that kind of made sense, I guess, to those of us back then, right? Because you're thinking, hey, I'm gonna get my money, let me keep my money. But then what would happen is there would be time, these people, like I have an aunt who actually was my mentor and was in the beauty industry and a stylist for over, I think, 50 years. And she would always tell me, now I'm not gonna put her in the boat because she was one of them that wasn't like that. Miss Lorraine, so y'all, well, rest in peace continuously, Miss Lorraine. But she would always be talking about how she literally would file her taxes. She would do the things that she was supposed to do based on her income, and what she made. And that was because, now here's from my financial or professional side, I'm gonna tell you. That was because she knew that she liked to live a fabulous life. She was fabulous. If y'all know Miss Lorraine, if anybody watching this video know Miss Lorraine, y'all gonna know I ain't lying to you. She was a fabulous lady, right? And she knew that she wanted to be able to see the fruits of her labor. So she always said, Monique, I claim my money, I file my taxes, because by not doing that, you have no proof of the income that you're saying that you make, right? So when you get ready to want to go get a house that you could probably afford, or a car that you can probably afford, a lot of hairstylists and people in the beauty industry, barbers, estheticians, most independent contractors who are receiving money in cash weren't able to do. So then what did they want to do at that point? Because they're like, well, I really make the money. I really have the money. So then that's when you come into asking for creative paperwork, right? Because the car lot gonna want to see a check stub. Mortgage company want to see check stubs and tax forms. So then here we go right now, creating another problem, which is why I named this the biggest mistakes. Because the first mistake is not keeping track of your income and doing your bookkeeping and filing your taxes. That's the first mistake. Then the second mistake comes around by you not doing that. Now you are driven to do something illegal because you want the things that you know you can afford, but you have no proof of showing that you can afford them, right? So now here, hence we go in and now we're doing something illegal in order to obtain the things that we want, right? Okay. You've been living a long time, and it's a lot of people, especially back then, because there just wasn't as much technology and all that, you were able to get away with some of the things that were done. But right now in the 2022s, chances of that happening are slim to none, right? So that being the case, that's why I'm doing this video, because I want to hopefully again share, hopefully again get somebody who has been doing things one way, which is all the wrong way all this time, to finally make the decision to do things the right way for several reasons: for themselves, for the future of their family, and for actual business growth. Okay, another thing. So that's financial mistakes. I'm going to delve into each of those. But another mistake is not getting licensed for the things the services that you want to provide. Especially back in the day, and I'm sure still people doing it now, providing a lot of these services that are dealing with chemicals, that are dealing with cutting, with different products that you are putting either on people's heads, skins, or bodies, that, and you aren't a licensed professional. And so in doing that, first of all, you could get sued. Secondly, you could, depending on the damage, you could even, potentially have to go to jail, because if you are performing a task in a state where that task has a license, in order for you to do it legally, or you need some type of certification to do it legally, and then you're found doing opposite, then now you have the issue of dealing with the client, and you have the issue of dealing with the state. So if you're doing something and you're good at it, just being good at it is not enough. You look at the state that you're in and you go and get what's required for you to do that service legally. Now, that is going to be if you're braiding hair. Now, I think some states will have a braiding license or a braiding certification. Some don't. But now, if you don't have to, when you're only braiding, then you need to only be braiding. You don't need to be putting no relaxer on nobody's hair. You don't need to be putting no chemicals. You don't need to be cutting. You don't need to be doing none of that stuff, because that all involves having a license or a certification. Okay. So that's one of the biggest mistakes. Another big mistake is not going and getting your licensing or your certification. How that rolls into a problem is you could never grow as big as you want to grow if you are not legally providing that service. Because what will happen is people gonna start looking you up. The people that you grew up with, who you may have excelled over in regards to how much money you're making, they know your shit, right? So guess what happens? They call in on you. They report you. All these different things happen that could get you in more trouble. And so guess what? If you just go and get your certification, go get your licensing, they don't even have to know that, right? You ain't got to announce, oh, I got my license now. I got my certificate now. But when they get ready to hate and decide to call somebody on you, you have all your ducks in a row, and you can just put your license out and show that you are a licensed professional to do, or certified to do, whatever that is that you do. Okay. It's not hard. It takes some time, yes. Takes some effort, yes. But anything worth having, you have to work for. And who wants to be out here saying they successful, but you ain't got all your stuff in order? Like who wants to say, "Oh, I'm a great hairstylist or I'm a great cosmetologist, but I ain't got a cosmetology license." Now, here's this next mistake I'm gonna go into with that. Once you get it, every 2 years or whatever the requirement is in your state, renew your doggone license. Do what you're supposed to do to renew your license so that it stays active. That means if you have to do continuing education hours, do those throughout the year. You should. You should always be learning, right? Depending on the state, some have places where they have to be certified to give continuing education hours, and some don't. But regardless of what, make sure that you are renewing your license in the terms of the period that you're supposed to. Why go to school? Why pay that money and get certified or get licensed and then you don't continue to keep it active? That just makes no sense. Because guess what? At that point, now you're again doing this service illegally. Secondly, now when your license is expired, and you don't renew it in time, it takes a whole lot more to go and get that license reactivated, depending on the length of time it's been since it's expired. So just don't do it. Set an alarm for yourself. Remind yourself, hey, this is time for renewal, and renew your license. You cannot ever grow and be the type of professional, successful professional that you want to be in any area if you are not licensed, if you are not certified, if that's required, and if you're not constantly educating yourself. It's not possible. And if you're not managing your money and handling your money and doing your money right. So that's just my tip. You need to definitely make sure that you're doing that. You're renewing your license, you're constantly getting educated, and well, I guess that's it in that space. So with those things, for me, the biggest mistake, or how all of this rolls into really just preventing people from getting the life that they really want based on the work that they're putting in, is not registering your business or your service and yourself and taking it seriously, right? We all know, hey, the next hottest thing, the next greatest thing will happen in the next trend, right? And so there'll be certain people, and it depends on who your audience is, but make sure you figure out who your audience is, and then you set up your business according to that audience and attracting that audience, right? I'll keep it real. Like when I first started doing hair and I got licensed, I was younger, but I was coming out of a professional atmosphere, right? Had been an educator and had been a coach at a high school. So even though I was still young, there were certain type of clients that I just didn't want. And no offense to them, but I've been in a salon. I grew up in a salon. I've saw the different types of clientele. I saw like what my play aunt established as her client base, and I actually liked that because with her advice as well as just with my experience in this, I found that if you were to target and want your audience to be more of a professional or a person who has to go to a job or has their own business or something like that, and what they look like also contributes to their daily success and their upkeep, then those persons are generally who you want to make your audience and make your clientele, because they're going to be more consistent, right? It's going to be less stressful. They don't generally want all that high tech stuff that take a long time but not willing to pay for it. They want to get in and out, so they're usually on time. All of these things that are important. That's not important. So anywho, what I suggest is determining who you want your audience to be, right? If you're younger, you don't mind all the hoopla and the people who come to the same shop. Now this probably don't happen these days, but it used to happen back in the day. Same girls who go with the same guy, as he was the big guy and whatever, be at the same shop. The next thing you know, they fighting and all these other things going on. Um, But hey, some people like the drama. Some people like the entertainment. I didn't, so I didn't tend to want to make, just say that younger crowd is what I'll say my clientele. Now, did I get them? Yeah, but generally it was young professionals. So determine who you want your client base to be, right? And then once you determine that, which means find your lane. And when you find your lane, be committed and stay in it. You can't. And I get it, because sometimes you want to learn how to do this because you seems like this is hot right now. Now, if you're into that, yeah, that's fine. Learn more things. But don't jump from place to place, thing to thing, because you see someone else being successful or making a lot of money in that space. That just may not be your space, may not be your niche, right? Figure out what your niche is, hone in on that, and then target your marketing, target your services, target just what you do daily towards building up what that niche is or that market is for you. Running and jumping all over the place, not completing something. Most people who do that are not going to be successful in their business, because people aren't going to take you seriously, because they see you going from, oh, now I'm a loctician. I was a loctician. I'm specializing in locks, but now ain't nobody really, well, I ain't been getting a lot of lock clients, so now I want to be where I'm making wigs, right? And you could be good at making wigs. Now, if you're good at all these things, then yes, present them all. But if you're not, and if you're just trying to jump here because somebody else said that they're good there, I guarantee you there's enough millions of people in this country. There is enough people and enough of your audience out here that you can build a clientele or build your business based on doing what you love, right? So just hopping from place to place is usually one of the biggest mistakes, because it's also an example of how seriously you take your business. If you doing, you jumping all over, generally you probably don't take your business seriously. So, okay, we're going to go with that. So now in this financial space, um, thinking that or choosing to not record or report your money, and why I believe that that is the one of the biggest of these mistakes. And it's really because you will never be able to experience or exercise this life that you see for everybody else and that you probably want for yourself, if you have no way to prove what you make, right? You could potentially, yes, I'll go pay cash for everything. Maybe you made $500,000 in a year and you put all 500,000 under your mattress, and it never went but from that person's hands but to yours, right? Say that's the case, and now you want to just go buy a $500,000 house, and you say, well, I got the cash, I can pay for it. You could do that, but herein lies still the problem. Do you think that when you go spend $500,000 cash to pay for something, which means that's going to be reported to the state, that's going to be reported to the federal government, you don't think they're going to wonder where you get $500,000 from? And especially if you ain't got proof that you a lottery winner or something. So now here you go, opening up a can of worms. Because guarantee you, Uncle Sam, aka the United States of America, the IRS, wants their piece of all income earned, unless you are a tax exempt organization and some of your income is not considered taxable. So that sounded good, but you see that ain't gonna work either. So if you want to be able to experience, exercise, show off like you want the life that you are earning or want to earn for yourself, you need to get yourself in the habit of keeping your books, connecting your bank account to a source that can keep your books, so that you are able to actually track exactly how much money you are earning from your business and your services and your products and whatever else you may have, as opposed to monies that may just have been given to you by a friend, boyfriend, family member, or whatever. You track that, you track your income, you track your legitimate expenses, and when you're ready to go buy that car, when you're ready to go buy that home, you will have what is needed in order to show proof of the income that you are stating that you make. Now, understand, and I say this all the time about the difference in gross income and net income. Depending on who it is you're applying to, sometimes they want the gross, right? But if you come with a gross of just say 100K a year, and then by the time all of your necessary and ordinary business deductions are taken, they total 50K, then you shouldn't be going and getting something that somebody who earns 100K in net is getting, because you can't afford it. What we have to learn, which is, here's the mistake, what people who earn in cash, that's the beauty industry, this is any independent contractor. When I say cash, I mean Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, credit card processing, wire transfer, any of those things. That's what I mean by cash. Those persons who, if you make cash, you should be going and getting those things that you qualify for based on your net income. That is one of the biggest mistakes that most people who are business owners or beauty industry professionals or just independent contractors make. They go and they set their lives up according to their gross income. And that is just not a smart thing to do, because that is not what you have accessible to pay for your personal livelihood, right? If your business is making 100K, but you only personally are able to access and utilize 50K on your personal life, you shouldn't be getting something that somebody that makes 100K can afford. Okay, I know it sounds mean or whatever, but that is one of the biggest problems, and it's one of the biggest mistakes, which is why people's credit be bad. People get stuff repoed, foreclosed on, all these different things. And I can speak, and I'm speaking from professional experience and knowledge, and then I'm speaking from personal experience. Okay, so what I do, hey, I'm transparent. The show called the Let's Be Honest show. Hey, I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I've made a lot of mistakes in these years, especially as an adult and being out here in the financial world. So I just want to say this. That's why a lot of those things happen, because you are living. We just be living out beyond our means, right? You have to, if you want the $100,000, what $100,000 can afford, then you need to start adding to more services, another stream of income or something, so that your net income can be $100,000. But if not, you shouldn't be getting stuff and applying for things and buying houses and buying cars and using credit cards and all these things to pay for things that you can't afford to maintain and keep up on a monthly basis. Biggest mistake. But you won't know what your net income is if you are not tracking your income. That's just what that is. So if you are just going willy-nilly free balling it in your life and in your finances, I promise you're setting yourself up for stress, and you're setting yourself up potentially, like I said, to do something illegal, immoral, and for financial ruin. So if I say nothing else, when I talk, when I consult, I have no problem, like I said, sharing my story of having it all and losing it all, and it wasn't, things weren't kept up as far as finances in my books and stuff like that. That was done. It was still just as though I was doing things according to the before, right? So before I got to do anything else, and wasn't thinking and wasn't setting stuff up for just in case something happens, rainy day, pandemic, economy crash, any of those things, wasn't set up for that. So when one of those things happened, everything was lost, right? And not because I didn't have the knowledge, it was because I wasn't exercising the knowledge that I had. I was not being disciplined and doing the things that I know to do. So when you bounce back and you come back and you 16, 17 years later, what do? Especially since my credentials and my education is in this space, you hammer that in. You hammer that in. And now my goal is to try to save people either from getting as deep or making as bad of, the mistakes that I made, or prevent them from ever doing it, period. Okay. So it's not coming from a place that I'm saying shame on somebody or I'm better than somebody or anything like that. It's coming from a place that I know, especially in my culture, a lot of our growth is limited or stagnated because nobody is talking to us, telling us the right way to do and get the things that we want. So that's that on that biggest mistake. Now you can watch these videos all doggone day and be feeling like a lot of people with other stuff that's going on now, feeling like, oh well, so it ain't me. I got my car, I got my this, I got my that. But yeah, if you getting it and you ain't reporting it, that means you lying to somebody somewhere. And that means either to keep certain benefits and things like that. Because if you tell them what you really make, then you ain't gonna be able to drive that $100,000 car or pay that $3,500 rent or mortgage. Well, not mortgage generally, but rent, because you are going to have to actually pay taxes and you really won't make as much money as you say you make. And then you're going to lose these benefits, that you are fighting so hard to hold on to. Like I'm going to tell you, I have told the client this one time, and I just have to share because, of course, I have clients from all different walks of life on the tax side. And so one of them, she was like, man, when we got finished doing her taxes, she made like over 80,000, right? No children, nothing like that. So she was like, man, so I think she was getting like $1,000 something back. She was like, man, that's all I'm getting. Then she said, what, how do people be getting all that $8, $9, and $10,000 refunds, this and that? And I said, well, generally those persons get that size refund because they don't make over $20,000 a year and they got 2 and 3 kids. And they were like, oh, I said, so this is where my hang up is. Would you rather get a $10,000 refund where if we add the $10,000 to the, just say 20 they made for the year, they got $30,000 and you got 80. Okay. And even after taxes, you got 70. Would you rather have 30 or would you rather have 70? I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, I'd rather have 70. So when I speak to those clients that may have started out and they were in a lower income bracket and they were able to qualify for these services and they got these services and they were utilizing them to help them either go to school while they was going to school or going to a trade or doing something, right? Of course, they're entitled to it. But when I talk to them, I was telling them, when you're done with this, the key is to actually be able to experience the better life that you want for yourself, which is why you're going and getting this trade or going and getting this degree or going and starting this business, whatever it is. So when the time comes, we're going to just tell the truth, right? So that means tell truth to the welfare agency, tell truth to the housing agency, whatever, how much you make now that you are in your new profession or doing your new service or whatever it is that you've earned and now you've done that now is going to make you make additional money, right? So I'm like, just trust me on this. If you fill out the paperwork right. So if you go, I have one young lady, I'm not gonna say her name, but I'm just so proud of her. All the time we talk, and she started out as one of those persons where she was making $8,000 to $10,000 a year. Young girl, had 3 kids, I want to say at the time, and I was continuously just sharing with her the information that I knew. I was always rooting her on as far as what it is she wanted to do and what she tried to do. So she decided she wanted to go and get her CDL. I thought it was a great idea. I said, this is going to allow you to see a better life for yourself and give your children a better life. So she did. She went, she finished, she got her CDL. The next year, so it was so funny, it was like night and day. The next year, when she comes to get her taxes done, she's made like $50,000. So going from making 8 to 10, as high as 16,000 to $50,000. I was smiling like she was my child. And then she was just like, but man, now, of course, thinking about what potentially she's going to lose because now she makes more money. Well, of course, with 3 kids and then making 50, I told, let's just be honest, because you don't ever want somebody else to be able to tell your story for you. You tell it yourself. So we're going to prepare your return with your W-2. When whatever benefits you're getting, when they ask for your check stubs, they ask for your tax forms, you send them what it says and let them make the decision based on what you make, what you qualify for. But if, for example, say you were getting $700 a month in food stamps and now that goes down to $200, right? That is $500 you lost in food stamps. We multiply that by 12. That's $6,000 a year more you got to spend out your pocket on food. But look, you just went from making 20,000 to 50,000. So you have a whole extra $30,000 that you were not utilizing or didn't have. So if you take six out of that more that you got to spend on your food now, you still have an extra $24,000 a year. And you're going to be able to do what you've been doing, putting your kids in activities and going on trips and all these other things that you always wanted to do but weren't able to do because you didn't make didn't make enough money. Right? And then now you can do it without a problem. You don't have to worry about Medicaid, stamps, whatever. If you own housing or whatever, you don't have to worry about them coming back and saying, hey, we need you, because now you're scared because you've been either not telling them or giving them fake paperwork as if the government ain't the government. But we ain't gonna go in there. So she, now it's crazy because now, she's already knocking on six figures. She keeps continuously doing better and better. uh Daughter has graduated college, working on her master's, it's just such a great story. So this is just a reason why I continuously try to hammer this home about just making the right decisions and stopping doing what we just would normally do, which is try to beat the system or try to get away with something, because you ain't getting away with it, because the key person who can chastise you know everything that you're doing, right? And that's when you'll wonder why I'm up and down, up and down. It's generally because we just don't be making the right decisions, okay? So I know this video was saying beauty industry professionals. And so I did want to talk about really quick with expenses for beauty industry professionals, because this is another thing. We just go buy different things we need throughout the day. We may pay for it with cash, you may pay for it with a card. You don't get a receipt, you don't keep your receipts. And then at the end of the year, when it's time to take deductions, you don't really have any deductions that you can validate because you haven't kept up. So biggest mistake. So what I suggest? Using your debit card anytime you are making purchases that could be attributed to your business. Use your debit card. If you use cash, when you get the receipt, get an app on your phone that will allow you to scan and take pictures of your receipts. Now, what I suggest is getting QuickBooks. And you can get QuickBooks Basic. It's only $25 a month. Don't get QuickBooks Self-Employed. I know it comes up, but don't do that. Just get the basics, because that's what our businesses is growing, right? These businesses are going to grow. So with QuickBooks Basics, there's an app. When you get the app for QuickBooks, if you pay cash for something, you get that receipt, you can now take a picture and upload it to your QuickBooks app, and then it's going to put it into your QuickBooks bookkeeping system. Why do I suggest and say QuickBooks? Not because QuickBooks can do everything for you and that they substitute or take the place of an actual bookkeeper, an accountant, because they don't. But it helps you to be organized, and it helps the bookkeeper or the accountant and the accountant that you actually work with be able to have legitimate documentation in order to do your books and to keep things legitimate. I am considered a QuickBooks accounting professional. So for my clients, I recommend that. All of my business clients, my independent contractors, hairstylists, all that, I recommend them doing the QuickBooks, because then I'm able to see what's going on, fix what's going on, help them through their QuickBooks account. So I definitely suggest that, and do the receipt. And the reason is because you would be shocked at how much you probably really spend on products, supplies, things that are going to be used in your business or help grow your business, or the expense to actually do your business. You would be shocked at how much money you really spend on that stuff. And I think the mistake is that's why people think they be making more money than they really make, because they have the money at hand to pay for these things. But those things are expenses, right? So that's not actual personal income, that money that you have to use to cover those business expenses. So that is one of all the mistakes kind of run into each other, but that is a mistake that's connected to the not doing or keeping up with your bookkeeping, is the fact that you don't know how much you're really making, and you don't know how much you're really spending. And by not knowing that, you don't know how to set up your life and your lifestyle. And that is why a lot of times our lifestyle far exceeds our bank accounts, because we don't know what we doing. So if you don't learn anything from seeing this video, learn to, for one, go set up a simple QuickBooks basics. Don't be spending money on anything other than what you personally have to sustain yourself and your business necessary and ordinary expenses for a month. When you set that up, look and see actually what your net is. That's going to be your profit and loss statement. That's going to be after all of your business expenses, right? See what your net is. Whatever that net is, understand that your daily mandatory life needs should not be over 50% of what that net income is. You could risk it a little and go to 60, but I would never recommend your expenses of your daily needs, your monthly needs, going over, and this is personal, 50% of your net bring home income for yourself. Okay? What does that look like if I were to break it down real quick? Okay. So say after you're an entrepreneur, you're a hairstylist, you have a salon. After all of the expenses for that salon, your business is paid. At the end of the month, you still have $3,000 left. That means your living shouldn't be over $1,500 a month. You shouldn't have a rent for your apartment and a car note and all these things. A rent that's $2,000, and then a car note that's $600, and you only averaging bringing home $3,000 a month because you got $400 left, and you ain't putting no gas in that car, you ain't paid no bills, you ain't did nothing. So guess what you're doing? The mistake, setting yourself up to be in the hole, which means either mess your credit up, which means mess up your rent, your car, because then you can now potentially go into repo and foreclosure. You're gonna be not home. You're gonna be hungry, and it's just gonna be a lot of issues that you're gonna have because nobody sat down and told you that you need to look at your bottom line, bring home income, and then budget that to fit with what your daily necessity living requires. Just think if you got kids, you ain't had $400 left, you ain't fed them either. So I know it sounds cruel, and I know somebody told you can go do this, can go do that, or that's why you truly really still own housing or whatever, because it be up and down. That ain't why, and that ain't no excuse. Because technically, I guarantee you, if you told housing or you told whoever that you actually brought home $3,000 a month, they probably gonna kick you off, or they're gonna lower the amount of your voucher. So that means you just have to make the adjustments in how you and your relationship with money and what you earn, and stop living beyond your means. You only bring home $3,000, and I don't care if some of the months, I bring home $7,000. Well, great month for you then. But guess what? If you set your life up, if you set your expenses up and your finances and stuff up to meet the $3,000 month, when them $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 months come, Now you have more money to add into your investments, into your money market accounts, into your CDs, into your annuities, into your stocks, into, starting another stream of income. Now you have money left to do that. There's actual money that you earn. We reporting it, remember, so you ain't hiding from nobody. And now you can freely expand your wealth, build a better life for you and the generations after you and your family, because you made the right decisions now and the right changes now. And then all it takes is discipline. All it takes is the knowledge. But you cannot think you're going to know it all and learn it all on your own, because you're not. Even me doing what I do, I still go and deal with people who have been in this industry longer than me, who dealing in areas that I may not have dealt in yet, to continuously get knowledge for myself as well as for those that I work with. But the key thing is discipline. The key thing is changing your mindset. The key thing is changing a little bit of who you around too, because a lot of times we go and spend beyond our means because we trying to impress people, and we trying to stay and fit in with the circle or group of people who we are around, and we want to look like we ain't hurting because they look like they ain't hurting. Chances are everybody hurting in some shape, form, or fashion. Sometimes they're not, right? Financially, but that is because they are being disciplined with how they are spending their money and their relationship with money and how they are viewing their money. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, y'all, but your lifestyle shouldn't be set up that it spends every dime or over what you make and bring home that is accessible to you personally a month. It's not. All right. So I hope that helped. If you want a little more help, I do have the Monique J Academy, the Savings Club. Savings Club is $15 a month. You could add that into your budget, because I guarantee you investing in that $15 a month is going to teach you and help you save over $100 a month. So you got a difference. Even if you save 100, now you got an extra 85 dollars that you can now do something different with or save. So it's an investment that I know, if you follow the directions, if you stick to what is being taught in that savings club on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, it's going to help you. So we have the Monique J Academy Savings Club, which is a monthly subscription, like I said, $15 a month. Then we also have I have a expense reduction course, right? That is going to be something you pay for, one flat fee. I want to say it's $350, one flat fee, and in that you're going to be shown ways to reduce the expenses that you currently have right now, right? Because what did I just say? If you bring home $3,000 a month, you really shouldn't. Your livelihood, and your mandatory expenses shouldn't exceed $1,500, no more than $1,700 a month. But oh shoot, my bills, really everything is $2,500. Well, we need to figure out how to bridge the gap between that 17 and that 25. Well, what the expense reduction course does is goes through a lot of different things, a lot of different necessities and items and things that we have to pay for, and show you how to lower those costs and how to find lower costs and still get the things that you need, which will turn around and turn into savings, right? And that's in all areas. It's not just your bills. As far as your household, it could be your car, it could be student loans, it could be regular personal loans, all these different areas in which you just may not know how you can cut the cost and still get those exact same things. So the expense reduction course teaches that it's one flat cost. Once you paid that, you have access to that information continuously online in the course for a 24-month time period. So for 2 years, you have access to the information in this expense reduction course that you didn't pay, but I want to say $350, it may be $400 for. But I have saved people. The biggest amount I've saved somebody a month through them doing my expense reduction program was, I think, $5,000. We cut their costs by. So yeah, can you imagine having a whole extra $5,000? They made good money, right? But could you imagine if you were to be able to have an extra $60,000 a year when you was used to spending it? So I'm telling y'all, this expense reduction course is worth it, but it does not work if you do not commit and aren't disciplined to following what you're supposed to do. As with anything, if we're not committed to it, if we're not disciplined in doing it, it's not going to work for us the way that it should. If you just say somebody who want to work out, you ain't going to lose the weight you would if you don't go work out every day. You may lose, but you ain't gonna, if you starve yourself, but you ain't gonna be toned. I mean, there's just so many areas. Just commit to doing what you're supposed to do if you want, or what you're taught, if you want to see the change and the effect in your life, especially in your finances. Okay, so the Monique J Academy has that. If you're looking, hey, I just need to make more money. Guess what? I got a tax professional 101 course, right? The Monique J, become Monique J certified. That's another stream of income that could start from $0 and make you an extra 50, 60, 70, up to $100,000 in a year. That course is under $600 to give you knowledge that could build you wealth that is really limitless, even help you start your own business. That course is available on the Monique J Academy as well. So I got a bunch of different things that can help you. If you want to take this a step further, definitely visit the links in the thing. I think my link tree is in there. Visit the Monique J Academy. You can type it in. It should probably be a link in Google, but it's MoniqueJacademy.teachable.com. I do think it's in the description on my YouTube for sure. So wait, okay, so I think that's it. I know when I'm doing the mistakes, I kind of just be going. I didn't write stuff down. I don't write stuff down. I just like to go with the flow. That's how you know it is what I know and it's authentic, right? So definitely, I hope this helps somebody. I hope that if you are somebody who wants to really, really see a change, that you do what you need to do to see the change. And that don't mean do stuff that you ain't supposed to do. Do things that you can legally do that just take you being honest with yourself and being disciplined and living within your means, and crawling before you walk and saying, hey, if I commit to this and do what I'm supposed to do, I know I'm going to get where I want to go, but then I'm going to be able to fully enjoy it because I'm not in debt or have bad credit when I get there. Okay? All right. So this has been your girl, Monique J, CEO, which, choose exceptional options. All of my businesses that I'm either involved with or a part owner in, of course, are on this backdrop. Visit them all. Check them out. Of course, 66 Life Essentials. We provide premium organic products. Some are derived from cannabidiol, and some are not. Also, Laye Beauty. Laye Beauty is a skin and hair care product line, or scalp care product line, where we provide skin moisturizers, hair growth serums, and also premium mink handmade lashes that are fairly priced and that you can reuse for up to 25, 30 times. It just depends on your care. I'm going to come close in the camera and you see I have them on now. I can't remember which one I have on. I think these are the Monique lash. And this is for sure, I'm on my ninth wear of this particular pair. Fine, come right on off, clean them off, take the glue off, put them right back on. They're lightweight. They're not, the hair is not coming out. They're not irritating to my eyes, and I just love them. And everybody who has gotten them love them as well. So definitely visit those businesses. The 19 Group, of course, is my professional financial services company, where we provide accounting services, business startup as far as the registration and setting everything up appropriately. Um, and we have travel concierge services, uh, help with, anything financial and then professional we offer through the 19 Group. So visit the 19group.com and you can see all of the services that are offered there. And then, of course, me, MoniqueJeCeo, LLC. I am a coach. I am a speaker. And I provide, of course, coaching in life, business, and financial. And that is offered through myself, Monique J, CEO, LLC. And my speaking is offered through there as well. So visit me, get at me. I pray everybody that's seen this video didn't take it the wrong way, because I might be talking to you. But guess what? If you hear it, it applies. apply it so that you can get better, be better, do better, have more, and not temporarily for the long term. It just takes learning, knowledge, and application and discipline. Okay. So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is on my YouTube. It's on my Facebook. Think we're sharing to Twitter or whatever too, but if not, I'm gonna share it everywhere. Feel free to do the same. I pray everyone who sees this video is at good health physically and mentally. And if you are not, I'm praying for you to get there really soon. God bless you all. This has been your girl, MoniqueJeCeo. As I always say, remain at peace and not in pieces. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, say, ask questions, whatever you want to do. Oh, lastly, don't forget to go to your Apple App Store and download. It's right there. Ask Mo Knows Solutions app, right? That is going to be full of FAQs, which is ask questions and answers in all kinds of areas that I am an expert in or have experience in where I can help you. Right at your fingertips. You ain't got to pay nobody, ask nobody none. Just go into your app, see if the answer's there. I got you. If it's not, send a message and someone will send you an answer if it can be answered quick through your app. Sign up for the Ask Mo Knows app today. And it is free, y'all. All right. See y'all later. God bless y'all. Peace. Sorry, y'all. Bye.